Hey, welcome to Monday. Monday, another episode of the Desktop Confessional. It's 12:16 right now. I took lunch at 12:10, so I should be done by 12:40. I don't know if how long this broadcast is going to last today, but basically, um, I think that my desktop confessionals are going to be a little bit happier now. I think that's probably a good way to start with that. So, as you know from the last few episodes of the Desktop Confessional, is that I've had to take a few days off in order to take several interviews, testing and interviews for a position at Fullerton School District. And so, I'm just going to recap real quick. So the first time I took a whole day off, and this was insane because I had all these other things in between, haircut and everything else. And so, I did well in that exam. So they said, hey, could you come back next week and take a structured test with a structured interview with a couple of people from a panel? I said, sure, why not? So, well, not just sure, why not? I was like, hell yeah, I'll go. So I go and I do it, and I did well enough that the following day I was asked, hey, could you come in for a final interview with the superintendent of the technology division? And I said, yeah. So I had to put in my my request to be absent for half a day for 2 days this particular week. And, I will say that it was successful. So the good news is, and this is the official word from it, is that I have accepted a position at Fullerton School District for the instructional aid and technology. My plight here at CRMA 4 is coming to an end very shortly. And to make things even more fun is that I had the perfect opportunity to break the news to my principal. Because what happened was, after I took the third day, which was a half day, so I've only been out the equivalent of 2 days, it raised a red flag to him. So he wanted to meet with me on Friday to explain, my absences or why I've had to call, I've had to request for time off. So it was the perfect opportunity for me to basically tell him, yeah, of course, without telling him, because you really can't tell this person that, yeah, I've been using personal time to do job interviews, but basically to let him know somewhere in the conversation that, yeah, I've accepted a job with another district, and I'm going to be resigning pretty soon. So things are still as normal. I'm going to be working here until I receive the final word of what my last day is. So I'm going to keep working, normal stuff. But I have a feeling that now that I'm going, I'm probably, the harassment's going to diminish very severely, because you kind of have to be nice to the person who has all the technology and is about to leave. Right. So with that being said, I had to tell my principal on Friday that it was official. So this morning I sent the email out to the entire staff letting them know that my departure is imminent. And of course, some staffers already knew that this was happening, and some were completely surprised by the whole thing. And I mean, with good reason. I didn't want to just scream it to everyone all at once. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be a very interesting time for the school, and trying to find someone else to replace me, which I kind of find amusing, because I took the time to rewrite the entire job description for this position based on the original job posting that I received back in May or April of 2016, when I first started looking at this job. And the qualifications, aside from the technical know-how and understanding, how school works, it also requires you to be a freaking martyr. So, I'm hoping that, you're going to find somebody that's going to be able to take the place of me. But, I have to say, accept no imitations, because Miss M is Miss M. That's all I'm going to say. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a wild ride this week. I'm still tired from it. It's still emotionally draining. It's quite exhausting, and it's just nowhere to go but up at this point. I mean, I'm trying to come up with something very cool for the students. I think I'm doing a farewell video right now. So if you've seen this guy, especially if you've worked with me at performing arts workshops, you've probably seen this guy. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Hey, Erica, thank you very much. I do appreciate the amount of support that I've been getting from everyone here on the online network. And the people who come in casually listen to these desktop confessionals, and or as one coworker put it, it's like, oh, so that's the reason why I keep hearing you during the lunch hour, making a speech. And I'm going, well, yeah, I'm talking to a ton of people online, and yeah, it's further proof that these walls are not paper thin, and they will, do that. Yes, Comic-Con, looking forward to it. Yay! So, oh, by the way, too, is if you, I've already picked up my tickets for the Saturday session of LA Comic-Con. So if you haven't, or you're planning to, I'd like to. One of these days, if I actually have the time to do it, I really would like to cosplay as something. I just haven't figured out what I want. I've had a few thoughts of like what I would cosplay as if I ever went to a Comic-Con with cosplay on. The one that sticks out in my head the most, and I'm just, I know, changing the subject because I can talk about better things now. But let's see. I've always wanted to go in as Xena. Because, oh gosh, I know. Well, I could do that, Erica, but like 3 people would get the joke. Although the one that I really wanted to go in as is from Power Rangers SPD, Doggy Kruger. Always wanted to go in as him in his Power Ranger suit. That's one that I really like to play with. I'm open to ideas, because anyone can put on a Star Trek uniform. But that'd be kind of fun. Last time I went to WonderCon back in April, I brought in my my beach. My Pro Beach Hockey League Express jersey that had a superhero on it, so that was pretty cool. So I wore a hockey jersey last time to the Comic-Con, so that was cool. So yeah, so I'll be posting shortly on Facebook if for the people who are too long didn't read and aren't watching this, but I would like to extend my thanks to everybody who has been following me, especially the ones who have been following me since the very beginning when I started using this platform as a chance for me to vent and explain my position and my search for, just peace of mind and, a place that was a lot more just peaceful. When you're in a place where you feel like, your abilities are far beyond what they want to, far beyond what they require, but they're nowhere near they're far beyond what they deserve, to be honest with you. It is difficult to stay in a place, especially when you're appreciated but you're not appreciated, or actually no, let me backtrack that. You're needed but you're not appreciated, and then when you do something wrong, they want to throw you under the bus and then wonder why you barely want to come out alive. I wish the rest of my coworkers the best here. This is a difficult place to try to establish roots, especially when the soil that you're trying to bloom from is extremely dusty and lacking of nutrients, to say the least. So that is the big to do. I cosplay because I need other things on my plate, to add to all of the stuff that I do already. Although, comic conventions are starting to become something of excitement and something interesting to do. And I know that Stan Lee's is extremely small compared to WonderCon, but at the same time, a good Comic-Con's a good Comic-Con, right? So yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have on the desktop confessional today. I really don't have too much to complain about. I did get a radio message today off of the radios asking to provide support in one of the classrooms, and it turns out that I just walked into a problem with the grade book and attendance system that is affecting the entire charter school organization. So the only thing I could do is, put my hands up in the air and go, hey guys, I'm sorry for the technical difficulties, but it's not my fault. But I'm just sending you this email so that it looks like I actually care, and that, yes, this is happening because my name is Captain Obvious, but here you go. Nothing I can really, nothing I can really do. So, sorry guys, the pinnacle is down. The pinnacle is down. But I get to take my break. So, and not that, most of today has been a break. I've just been working on my shot list of camera shots that I need so that I can work on this video that I'm trying to put together. It's kind of cute. It's supposed to make people cry, hopefully, if I edit it correctly and remove all the references to alcohol. Should be good. Yeah. Surreal. I'm actually going to leave this. Like I'm actually going to leave this. And when I think about it, it's somewhat bittersweet because, the kids were cool. They need a lot, some of them need a lot of work, but then, there's a lot of kids that do. And then, this has been a position in which I've been asked multiple times to be the master of my domain, whatever the fuck that means. But it's hard to say, hey, you're going to be in charge of this, but, we're not going to help you a bit. And, if you don't do what we say, then you're going to get in trouble and we're going to write you up and all this stuff. And it's going to get really ugly. I'm like, well, what kind of positive work environment does that instill in any of us? And I will say this, if I had to add to it, there's always this talk about all of us working as a team and working as a family and stuff like that. But I will say that the methods and the way that it gets put across is probably some of the most artificial crap that I've ever seen in my life. You can't force people to celebrate each other. And you can't force, people to be close to each other by doing, kumbayas and all this extra stuff. You just can't do that. And, when you feel like you're going into a professional development and you're sitting there going, are you serious that we have to do this again? Like, what was the point of this? What was the point of having to do these certain exercises and then blah, blah, blah about procedures and then send you on your way? Makes for a very rough time. But anyway, so I close on a good note. There will probably be a place for these desktop confessionals somewhere, but I don't foresee having to, kill my lunches, having to complain and talk and vent and everything else about what I do here. That I think will be coming to a close soon. Of course, I will still continue to work on a few episodes of these as long as I'm still here. And I'm hoping too is that, anything I do like this is going to be a lot more positive and fun and less drama, because you know what? Life's too short for this kind of stuff. I mean, I don't need to have been stretched and pushed to a point where my lunches, I have to talk about this to get it out of my system so that I don't feel depressed going back, So there's that. So yeah, I will talk to you all later. I have about 10 minutes left in my lunch, and I think I'm going to spend a little bit of time and just close my eyes for a little bit because they're getting a little heavy. Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you have hockey and then you take a trip to IKEA. It just happens that way. So ta-ta for now. I will be posting on Facebook later too. Like I said, once again, thank you everyone who's been watching so far and offering me the messages of support and just watching this journey. I made it. I'm going to get myself out of here, and I'm going to find a better place. And I'm heading to a better place, and it's going to be cool. So I will talk to you all later.